May is going to be our 22nd year. We went out there 1990, May 1990. So it's 22nd year. Well, basically the first year is always a challenge anywhere you go in the world because it's something new that you're facing. We went out there without knowing anybody or having any family members, but we just knew that God had called us. And my children, they basically grew up there, and for them it's their country. That's where they belong, and so it's Mexico. It's now part of our lives.
Okay.
And so to us now it's not really a challenge to be out there, but it's part of our lives already. And so even our children, they're doing okay, and so to them it's their country. Well, you know, I was the Lord saved me back in 1984, and I remember that at the first 3 months of my salvation, I just knew that God had changed my life for a purpose. We started going into the streets, evangelizing. We had a deep desire to want to share with others what God did for us, how God delivered us from drug addictions. And so it was something very fresh in the beginning of our Christian walk. Mm-hmm. And so the desire was there to want to do something for God. And as I remember coming back to Salinas, being under Pastor Richard Gallardo, mm-hmm. I just started developing my preaching. I started preaching in the church and ministering, helping out, and just being involved. And so I remember I received a prophecy from one of the evangelists that came in 1986, I believe. Uh-huh. And he gave me a prophecy about me going into a city here in the States to pioneer, and then after that, God was going to open doors for us in Mexico and also in South America. And so all that has come to pass already. So wow. We know that when God speaks, you know, He means business, and it was a true prophecy. And so knowing that and the desire that I had no doubts at all when Pastor Richard asked me if we wanted to go to Mexico. I just knew that was God's will for us. And so it has to really be a desire, first of all, that you want to do something for God. And when you have an appreciation of what God has done for you, that also helps you to be able to say, I'll do anything God wants me to do, or I'll go anywhere God wants me to go, because I just want to please God. I want to thank Him for what He did in my life. Well, you know, first of all, I placed myself under the leadership of Pastor Richard Gallardo. I had a desire to want to do something for God, and I knew that I was called to preach and to do something for the Lord. And the first thing that I did is I placed myself under His leadership and guidance. Basically, when you have a relationship with a man of God, with a pastor, that relationship is able to help you develop your calling. Because your pastor will always know if your calling is something real, or if it's something emotional going on in your heart. Mm-hmm. Because he will let you know as you know him and you work together with the man of God. There's a relationship built there, and so you're able to find out if your calling is real. Mm-hmm. And so that's very important. You don't want to just go out somewhere just because you have a desire or you're emotionally stirred to do something. Right. There's got to be guidance, and so especially if you're ever going to go overseas, it's got to be a real calling. It has to be a real calling, because you know it's something that you're stepping out into another dimension, another nation. And so there is a lot to it, and so it has to be a real calling for you to be able to stand,
Yes.
and to persevere in many different things. Well, I would have to say, first of all, the grace of God. Nothing can separate that. It's been the grace of God. There's been many experiences in Mexico. We've had battles, we've had oppositions, but we also have had many, many blessings. In the last years, we received so many blessings being out there, and God always rewards when you do something for Him and you pay a price. You know, there's always a reward God has for you. And so I would have to say that not everyone is called to stay forever in another nation. And I believe that's been the case of many of the other pastors that have gone out and came back. Probably their purpose was staying out there a few years, doing something and planting seeds. For us, it seems like the Lord has kept us there for many years. He's got a different purpose. And so through all this, He has helped us through stand strong and to just persevere without feeling discouraged in the hard times. And so I believe it's part of the calling. There's a real calling. God will anoint you for that calling.
Wow.
Well, I would just like to say that there's God's preparing men right now that are going to be future missionaries. I really believe there's going to be a new generation. And so I just want to encourage you to don't let go of your vision. If you have a desire to do something for the Lord here or anywhere in the world, you keep that alive, you keep praying, stay close to the men of God for your guidance. And so don't be afraid to step out, because God will always be with you no matter where you go. God will be with you. And so you keep that vision alive if God has really called you for the mission field. Remember, it's got to be a real calling, and God will confirm that through the man of God.
All right. Thank you, Pastor Macario.
Okay.